To lower your mic, by the way, to your mouth.
Welcome, guys. We're gonna talk about some recent Dragon Ball leaks that have surfaced from a YouTuber called Sergio M3. He has a series of 3 YouTube videos. He pretty much goes into the Avatar possible character leaks, and then in another video he goes into a couple of models he found in the game, and then in the third video kind of wraps up with just more speculation on like game modes and stuff like that. We'll link the description on the bottom, but he essentially found files in the game that had avatars in it, specifically avatars, not saying like, you know, DLC character file blah blah blah, you know, like it wasn't anything like that. There was Broly Super Saiyan found, Goku base, Vegeta base, Bardock. He also saw Bardock Super Saiyan, Vegito Super Saiyan Gad, Super Saiyan, you know, blue.
Yeah.
And then base Vegito, Zamasu possibly fused, Cooler, and Android 17 that says Ranger. Yeah, which means it's the super version of Android 17. Now, because of this data mining, there's been a lot of people making content about it. We are kind of late in the video making for this. We wanted to do it last week, but things popped up. But David, what are your thoughts on the you know, the characters?
Well, I think it's some information since we're in the dark, right? There's a season pass for it, but we don't even know what we're getting.
They're Capcoming season 1, basically.
Yeah, I think a little bit worse.
Weird. Like at this point, companies that make fighting games should go, this is what these guys messed up on. Let's not do that, right?
Yes.
Because we'll always be compared to those guys because they've been the top dogs in fighting games for so long, and they messed up and got so many people angry that it's easy to have basically guidelines on what not to do.
Like, no, like there should be a Street Fighter 5 there should be, and then what not to do.
But of course, but of course, since they're not Capcom, they've got some leeway.
They do, and because of the characters, right? Because it's Dragon Ball and the franchise and all that stuff. But I get it, right? They need to sell the season pass to make the early money. But a lot of people said it, you know, even jokingly, you know, hey, I like to buy my stuff without knowing what I'm getting, you know, and stuff like that. So at least this is some, you know, sarcastically, at least this is some type of information that we're getting, potentially, maybe to get our hopes high and maybe not get any of these. I don't know. I don't think we need any base forms characters unless they're going to do any type of transformation in the characters, like how Goku Super Saiyan turns Super Saiyan 3 or stuff like that, right? Right now we're running what, 4 Gokus?
I think 3. Goku Black, Goku Blue, Goku Super Saiyan.
And
2.
then
that rhymes.
base Goku.
No, well,
right?
like that we have now in the game.
Okay, gotcha.
If base Goku's in it, then it'll be 4. If Bardock's in it, then technically it'll be like 5, since he just looks exactly like him. You know.
Exactly. Which and they have fan favorites there, right?
Half of a Goku and half of a Vegeta, so technically you just
4.5
there.
4.5. We have fan favorites like Broly that everybody did. I did read something very interesting. They said they should separate them if they're gonna release them in terms of movie characters, anime characters, you know, story, and then I don't know, origin characters, and then you could see where you want to get those characters, you know, and maybe you don't want to get a season pass because maybe you don't want to get that Goku base, whatever, but maybe you want to get that movie characters, which will be Cooler and Broly, you know, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. And I don't know, I think they need to bring some information for us to know what we're trying to get our hands on.
It almost feels like if you want to compare it, like it feels like we're getting a DLC pack, right? And if it was for Street Fighter, it feels like we were getting Evil Ryu, Violent Ken, Dan Hibiki, Sakura, you know, like it just feels
Akuma,
like you know, Akuma, Shin Akuma, like we were getting, hey, here's some more Shotos for the Shotos you already have in your game. You know, so I think
except they'll have the same face.
I think it's just Alpha Ryu, then you get base Street Fighter 1 Ryu.
Yeah, chancletas Ryu.
You got slippers on, cause you know who runs around fighting in the streets barefoot. That's crazy. um, um. So like, I think it's just a little too soon for so many Saiyans to be coming out season 1. You know what I mean? There's just so many characters that even if they're not as popular as Goku, even if they're not as, you know, the mainstay like driving force of the series and of the franchise, like people want variety in their fighting games.
Yeah, and they getting the variety because I'm pretty sure they're gonna fight differently. They're just gonna look the same. It's like Mortal Kombat back in the days with all the ninjas. You know, they all look the same. They just did different things. So I guess we're getting all these different Gokus, but they all fight differently.
Well, I don't know if you have, but how different is the Super Saiyan Goku versus the Blue Goku and Vegeta versus the Blue Vegeta?
A different character, definitely. Especially
Even,
Vegeta. It's a completely different character.
The normals and the assists, obviously. So
the way how they play, in the way how they do everything, is not like an evil Ryu/Ryu. No, it's a different meta. It's a different gameplay. Yeah.
So because of that, let's just hope that we can give them the benefit of the doubt and go, all right, these guys are coming out, but they're gonna play different than the other guys. They're not just gonna be a copy paste. Hopefully, you know, like there's a mechanic almost like an install for Goku to get to Kaioken 4 or something like that, right? Or something crazy with Vegeta where it's not just his level 3 where he turns into a gray ape, but like it's like he has a move where he what's that thing called, the light that he did himself that has those waves, the brute waves. The brute turns into an ape, like he could just chuck that out, and there's like a timer, and then he turns into an ape for like 30 seconds. I don't know.
No, I don't want giant characters.
It'll get like Tatsunoko versus Capcom, where like the screen.
Yeah, I hate those things. I hate those games, man. Weird hitbox. I think the roster, like you mentioned, yeah, it's very similar. It feels very safe. Like it's very grounded and very safe. I think it's, you know, and don't get me wrong, Dragon Ball has like a gazillion characters, dude. And I think right now they're playing it safe because they want to see how these sell, so then maybe they can bring the top hits, you know, like the Kefla, like Caulifla, maybe, you know, both separated.
Like,
you know,
with Kefla, I honestly don't even think she's like a top priority. I think people would still.
She is.
I think if you do like a list, I think she would lose to Cooler. I think she would lose to Zamasu, you know, like she would lose.
Broly.
She would lose to Vegeta.
But why Zamasu? Yeah.
Well, if it's fused Zamasu, he'll have different moves, right? So, like, he also like
Well, I hope he's Hulk. Like,
like if it is the fused one with the big purple armor, or whatever, like he did find a model,
would be better.
He did find a model in the game for Trunks's Sword of Hope, I think is called, or something like that.
Yeah.
And if Zamasu is like in the game and that model is in there, that means that could be a dramatic finish for Trunks versus Zamasu, right? You know,
yes, and I hope they bring that Trunks, man.
Yeah.
I just figured they need to just make back in the days, Arc System had characters that used to be EX versions of them. You could pick the regular character, and you could pick the EX version of them, and none of the other will be better than the other. But it's still within the same character. Maybe they can do that in this game since they have so many different versions. So let's say you could pick the future Trunks that we have here, or his EX version will be the one with the Sword of Hope, which has different supers and it looks different. I think that would be a fantastic idea to implement them. So the roster doesn't feel like, oh, let me go through these rows of Gokus.
Yeah, well, I think that's perfectly fine, but I was more hoping like we get maybe like 36 characters in the roster before we start getting more versions of the same characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just think they're playing it safe. It's not a bad thing because I got Ranger 17 and I wanted him from the get-go. So
yeah. How's that gonna work? How's she gonna be throwing out an assist of him and then an assist of him comes out also?
the same way Goku DHC to Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and then
Yeah.
Goku Black comes out.
Yeah.
Broly's gonna have a heart attack. Broly's gonna have a heart
Too
attack
much
seeing all this Goku. he's gonna have a heart attack, man.
So much hate.
And I hope they really bring a lot of justice to these characters, man, because the presentation of this game is fantastic, and all these characters are really cool. At least the ones they're showing, you know, like, bro, they're really like, they have edgy stuff that a lot of fan base like, and you know, so I hope they implement that so all the edgy people, edgelord maxsters, they can be like, yeah, my character did that one thing he did in the movie.
You know, I think Broly's is the first time I ever had a problem with overly big shoulders on a character. Before
maybe you did.
Before
Warcraft.
World of
Warcraft.
I think he was the first one. I still have. I really hope it's like kind of toned down in the game. I don't want to just fucking. I can't even do it. I wish I could make my shoulders the size of my head. So, also, what he found was some possible game mode files. Something called Z Union which could possibly be a clan thing. He's speculating that it could be something about having clans added to the game. Something called Raid Battle, which could be, you know, a bunch of people versus a boss. I don't know, something like that. Z League. I'm really wondering, like, if this is any type of esport related thing. You know what I mean? Like, they could easily call their esport a Z League, and it makes sense, and it's catchy, you know.
And to be honest, the network is strong. I'm not sure if you play it enough, but the network is strong enough online to be able to do that. But let's see if that is.
It feels strong, but sometimes I don't know if it's just disconnecting or if they're rage quitting.
You need a.
I can't tell. Yeah, I need to know. I don't know. I don't even know if there's any kind of punishments out there for rage in the game.
Not yet. But you think these modes are gonna be free?
I don't see why not. I don't see why they should cost money. Honestly.
And do you feel like they will come like as in a patch with all the new DLCs?
Honestly, like with the DLCs being secretive, and with the just like everything around it so far, it could potentially make it go from positive to negative really fast. So they would need something like that to feel like, you know, this is more for the fans, to keep you guys motivated to play the game and not to try and milk you out of money for the game.
Which is good, right? It feels like an incentive, right? Let me give you a character. We're also gonna give you a free patch. Like, you don't have to get the characters, and you can play other modes. That's fantastic. I think that would be pretty cool.
For example, like with Tekken, like Tekken Bowl came out, and I thought, I was excited about it till I found out it was like more than $10, and I'm like,
no, it should be free, right? It should be a free.
I had bought this game to fight, not to bowl, even though it's a cool nostalgic thing. But there's no incentive to like play it all the time.
But in my opinion, it should be free, not because I'm saying I don't want to pay for something, but because it was free before in the other Tekken Tags game. So, you know, it shouldn't be a reason to charge it. It's nothing new. It's not new. Yeah, it's nothing new.
So, to get back on track, with the avatars being speculative, the reason they're more speculation on as to, you know, not to confirm whether they're actual characters or not, is because there are avatars in the game that you could use in your lobby that aren't in the game either. Like, for example, I have Majin Vegeta, Great Saiyaman, Wiz, Bulma, Mr. Satan, First Form Cell, Frieza. Like, if this dude found all of those and they weren't in the game, people are going to be like, whoa, Wiz is going to be in the game. Yo, we're getting Bulma. She's probably going to be in a gold neck.
Neck, yes.
You know?
By the way, that is the best feature of the game. Those little avatar things. So
I just want them, like, when I saw that there's emotes, it's cool that there's pictures, but I really thought they were going to do, like, punches and
that
kicks,
would be cool.
Kamehamehas, you know.
It's still cool. It's still really cool though. Yeah, but that could be avatars can be for that. Yeah.
So with this Sergio M3 Datamine, there was also something I came across from Shonen Games, an article from them that said that it was debunked, and some guy
Oh
named
no.
Ken Zyro debunked it, and he has his own, and it showed the list of characters, and I'm reading it, I'm like, it doesn't really say how it's legitimized, like that this guy knows who's coming in. So I clicked on his name on the, it goes straight to his Twitter. I started scrolling. This guy just sounds like he's a really big fan of Dragon Ball and the series, and a good player, and like he has his own streaming thing or anything, but it doesn't say that he has any ties specifically to anything legitimate that would legitimize his list. So
Other than his opinion.
yeah, other than his opinion, I'm like, okay, well, I can say what I think the thing is. And you're like, nah, man, dude, trust me, bro.
Debunk.
Trust me.
This is gonna be great. This is gonna be huge.
I really like
Trust
Dragon
me.
Ball too. Trust me, this is gonna be the character. So his list is actually Broly, Bardock, Janemba, Kefla, Topo, Jiren. It just says Kid, but people are saying it could be Kid Goku. And then it says Fu, which is also going to be a Xenoverse 2 DLC. That is, and it's a son of two antagonists from Dragon Ball Online called Tawa and Mira. And after seeing those two characters, I don't know why they choose Fu over Towa or whatever her name is.
Or Mira. Or Mira. Yeah. Both of them are fucking.
They both look way cooler than the Fu guy. I just
yes.
like.
Yes.
I get the cross promotion maybe, but I just feel like they could still do that with picking the cooler looking character.
But then to piggyback on that, right? If that would be the case, maybe why he's mentioning is because in Xenoverse 2, right, they just released him. So maybe to support their own game, since he's still active on the Switch, hey, that's that character that we released on the Switch. You can get it in the non-Switch console, F you Switch, maybe that is the only way that I can see it to keep it related,
Yeah.
To keep it, but definitely, when they mentioned Bardock in the leaks, I figured that Tawa and Mira should be there because they always seems to be together. Those three in any iteration of Dragon Ball, But I do agree, those other two characters are fantastic. The Tawa and Mira, they're so cool. They look awesome. And they've been in Dragon Ball Heroes for the longest. They've been in a game called Dragon Ball Heroes for the longest. So
that was really popular. I haven't played it myself.
It's a very card game, popular, stuff like that. But yeah, maybe I think because Xenoverse 2 has that Fu guy, maybe they're putting him there. When they mentioned Jiren, no, sorry, that's not happening. That's not happening.
Yeah,
it's not happening.
Yeah, I don't feel like characters like him. That the show's still not finished, but it is finishing soon. I think it's in March. It's super supposed to finish.
It's finished, yeah, from March
arc or whatever. So if it does finish, maybe it'll actually show Jiren really popping off.
Doing anything,
and doing something, like.
Because in Xenoverse, though, and I guess this person's piggybacking on Xenoverse. In Xenoverse, they're releasing Jiren.
Yeah.
Right. But like all the older Bandai Namco games, like Naruto, they will release they say Naruto, right?
Yeah.
Like one tell Fox Naruto or whatever. But in the anime, he's already like in whatever tell. So then they release another version of him later in another game with more transformation. I just think that it would not do him justice now. So no, Topo maybe, but I would even see that Topo still not yet.
Like if Topo came out as a part of the initial roster and he didn't have his other form, I don't know if spoilers, whatever, his other form that recently came out, then people be like, oh shit, we have Topo, but he's kind of outdated now. He doesn't have the updated stuff. So that's why I think they should let Jiren just kind of sit.
Yeah, rock. Not releasing yet. Topo maybe, yes. Dispo will be fucking cool too. Like releasing universe patches will be really cool. Hey, universe, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And they start releasing those characters by you. That would be so cool.
If there was 8 characters, the way I would do it, I would do I would split them up between Dragon Ball Z, the movies, Super, and
Yeah, exactly.
and maybe even GT, just kind of two of each every every season of DLC pass characters.
And they almost have it like that, right? Because they have Broly and Cooler. Then they have regular Dragon Ball with base Vegeta as a Goku. And they have Super with Vegeta Blue, Samasu, and Ranger 17.
Yeah, and Bardock's from movie too, so yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's taking like split it up. Don't pull a Capcom on this one and just be like, yeah, all new characters, all new Xenoverse characters, or how many characters? You know, like people are like looking like John Travolta, like where are the bells? You know, like,
absolutely. Like, wait, what? What? No. And I get it. Look, and I know we're just excited. We want to hear more from it. I hope that there's no release date. There's nothing, dude. This just leaks.
Yeah. That's it. There's not. It's so weird. Like, there's not even a date on when we're getting it. We're probably gonna get
anything.
We're probably gonna get one of those like, blue balls 20-second trailers in like a month and be like, oh look, it's Broly. He almost did a move, and then
that's it, and they cut you.
And you're like,
every Nintendo player.
All right, so which list do you like better, the first one or the second one?
I like the first one because I don't think any of the people from the tournament are gonna come up now yet. I don't think so. They're definitely smart about it, so I think the first list is as much as I want any of the girls separated or together. It's just I know they need more time for development.
Yeah,
because that's gonna be
honestly with a character like that, with a character like Kefla, they're probably gonna need to put more thought into how they're gonna present her in the game.
Dude, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Do we fuse her? Do we not fuse her? Do we make the other one an assist? Do we not? Do we separate them both and make them their own character? Like, it's just...
Do they make them an install and then they fuse and then they fight like that?
Or they could make them separate characters, but if you put them in the same team and
they become one.
Levels.
You have a lot of potential there, Gohan. You have a lot of potential.
A lot of potential, Gohan. So... out of these two lists, like, were there any characters you would probably swap out with other characters? Like, which DLCs would you prefer in there other than somebody else? I don't care. I'm more interested in knowing which characters.
Cooler and Ranger definitely I would want them there, and they're there. I always wanted them, both of them. I think it was in my initial list because it was pretty cool.
I'm calling it right now. Cooler's gonna also have an install for Meta Cooler. So
that'll be so good.
He's like, so that he counters Frieza's Golden Frieza.
That'd be awesome. That'd be so cool.
Calling it.
You heard it here first.
Take my idea.
So them two and Dabura, like I mentioned in my initial roster, Dabura's always been one of my favorites. I think he's really cool, really unique. He has a sword, like a scimitar sword.
He looks like a Puerto Rican uncle.
Yeah, he has that little mustache thing. Yeah. He's really cool. I just think he's really cool.
He's awesome.
Definitely
he's definitely like underutilized as a villain. So
his attacks are cool, are different. He has fire, dark energy. Yep, I definitely like him. Those three would definitely be one of my. Before going into the super thing, those three would be my favorite ones. Definitely that I would want. Cooler, 17, and Dabura definitely. If we're gonna stay in Z, Dabura.
Wherever. Well, mine's, I like Janemba. He's almost has a lot of stuff like Dabura. He's more like a magical demon type, but has a sword, has weird moves. Like he could potentially be broken if they make him true enough to like how he is on the film. Jacko the Space Patrolman is another one I want. Just because anytime he was on screen in Super, I just really enjoyed that character. So I think we don't have a trap kind of character, like a tools kind of character. He has a gun. He could have like gadgets, just fucking doing stuff.
Throwing them.
Yeah, throw his spaceship could land on people as a level 3. Some stupid shit like that. Ribrianne, because we need another female. And
that's why I say, we definitely. I don't want to go into the super one because I definitely would like a lot of super characters.
Yeah,
I definitely want to like a lot of super.
Definitely Ribrianne. I would like
Yeah,
to.
she would be really cool. Yes,
She's got a Blanca
all
ball.
three of them, all three of them would be
Oh yeah,
really cool
yeah, yeah.
characters.
Any way you want to put them in there, just put them in. But I
Yeah,
prefer the BBW. She was cool.
got you.
Um.
Mhm.
So with that, real quick, any quick first impressions of playing the game for the first week?
It's definitely fun. If I have to say, like, at least if somebody asks me, "Hey, how's Dragon Ball Fighters?" I would say it's fun. It's fun and easy to get into it. You know, I think it's really fun, easy to get into, and it looks appealing. I think it looks appealing. It's a rough in some edges, definitely. You know, some of the interfaces and options, and this is me being picky, whatever. But it's still great, though.
But you know, it's the first iteration of the game, and there's so many fighting games that you know when they come out, they all have these rough little patches, these rough little nuances about them that we're just used to them getting fixed eventually. Especially
Yeah, absolutely.
with companies we can trust. Like I know we tried to do lobbies with ring matches one day, and it became the most complicated thing ever that we experienced. Is just trying to play with
Ever.
a friend online,
Yeah.
you know, like, but it just feels like they're gonna patch this out, right?
Yeah.
They're not gonna keep it like this. It's a mechanic, and it's like a core mechanic of the game on how
That's
they
right.
want their lobby to work. You know,
I'm just not concerned, not worrying much about those things, like you said, because they have been so vocal in trying to maintain and keep the game in a positive feed. Like even when it was going down the network, hey guys, we're working tirelessly. This is what it is, and constant updates. You know, very alive. So they definitely putting a lot of work and a lot of heart into this game. So I definitely see it going there, and everybody's playing it. Everybody and their mother is playing this game.
every time I see a tournament so far this first week, and there are people like, oh, this is blah blah blah, usually a KI player, but he's playing this. This is blah blah blah, he usually plays Marvel and Street Fighter. This is blah blah blah, they usually play you know, like they're coming from everywhere. Every fighting
Yes.
community is coming to play this game.
And I think it resonates more in the franchise is so strong and it's showing its power, man. It's showing that it has so much weight, and with a presentation like this with Arc System, it just made it perfect, dude. It made it appealing enough for somebody that hasn't played games like that. Be like, oh, that looks great. I want to do stuff. And when they try it, they be like, oh, I can do stuff. Yeah. It was catered very well, man. The game was catered very well.
You know, the lobby thing is weird to me, right? Because I never had a fighting game where there's like little lobby thing, but it really feels like people are online. When you're seeing characters move, when you're seeing characters choosing where they want to be, it feels like there's people online. And I really felt that when, after playing like a couple hours of story mode and seeing like the graphics there and the presentation and all that, and just like the dialogue between the characters, really impressive. Like the dialogue, if there's any reason to play story mode, is just listening to these characters talk to one another and feel like they're being true to themselves, then true to to how they were presented for over, like, you know, 20 some odd 30 years, depending on the character. And then I went back and played Marvel, and I honestly got the same feeling like when you look out the window and you find out that it's raining, and you're like,
why am I here?
Gotta umbrella. I hate umbrellas. You know, like it just feels kind of like just dry and
without heart. It feels without heart,
and it sucks because I honestly at this point I don't even know how much I like the battle system for Dragon Ball compared to Marvel, because I actually enjoyed Marvel Infinite's battle system. But you know, I'm still playing the game. I'm gonna start playing the game seriously now that I'm done with my one player single player stuff. So we'll see how much I actually end up liking it. You know, I played Marvel 3, played a little bit of Guilty Gear, so it shouldn't be too bad once I really get into it. You know,
I think the game still stands a unique itself. You know, like even if you didn't play Marvel, even if you didn't play Guard System, it still caters you enough to be like, hey, this is a new game. Let me try and let me learn it. And it starts basic, but they've been breaking it down very well, man. The game is great, man. What I like is that people like playing the game, and that is a success for me. You know, if people like playing your game, just playing it, then you win. Because people just want to want more of it, you know?
There were like the first day I tried online, I tried casual matches before I even really understood most of the mechanics. and I was losing pretty badly most times, not really understanding how I was getting hit, why I was getting hit. And I was getting frustrated, but I was still like, why am I doing this for 2 hours now? And I'm like, I think I'm enjoying myself. Somehow I'm enjoying myself. I just can't really figure out why.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think the matches are so fast, and even if things happens bad, they look so pretty that you can even get mad because it looks so cool.
Yeah.
You know, it just looks so good.
I don't know. People could get mad. I've seen a couple of salty compilations already.
Well, I guess.
All right. Anything?
Well, but I think it's great. No, I think it's great. I think the game is great.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the game. I want to play some more. Maybe we can get more detail
sessions,
on a review or something later on.
That's good.
I'm pretty much done with what I had to say about the leak list.
Me too.
I'm hoping for a mixture of both. Honestly, I'm hoping for a mixture of both leaks because I would like Janema in there, and I would like something that surprises me. That's not a Saiyan.
Yeah, I know who will surprise you. Noctis.
Yeah, Noctis. We got this running on joke that ever since Noctis has been in Dissidia and in Tekken 7, that he needs to be the driving force that is a guest character and breaks world records. Guinness World Record for most guested fighting game character.
Appearance.
Watch, Noctis will be season 2 DLC for that cross battle Blaze Blue. He's one of the 20.
Bro, he could fit. He fits like a Gal team song. He fits on every game, bro.
Alright, guys. I'm Poe, and this is David. We didn't introduce ourselves at the beginning, but yeah, we're outie. Thanks for listening, and we will see you later.
Bye.